So I know I said I was going to be trying to be prepared and stuff, but I've been doing a lot of multitasking today, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. Got laundry to do, got to clean my house. All that fun Friday stuff. I started to record this video on my other phone and it friggin' died. I tried to hurry through it. Didn't work. I also got to figure out the resolution because I'm basically getting 2 gigs per video for like a 10-minute video, and it takes for friggin' ever to upload, so I'm gonna have to sort through that. I'm trying to do like all the individual signs today, and it's honestly going to be a big pain, but bear with me. I'll figure out the resolutions and all that good stuff. Sorry y'all missed the friggin' shuffle, but I'll upload I'll upload it from my other phone if you wanna if you really want to see it. But it wasn't that exciting really. We just talked like normal, about Han Solo and Chewbacca. But anyway, um, this is for Taurus. A lot of people are spooked because of the death card. I think that's a good card, actually. Because without death, there can be no rebirth, and like this card speaks a change to me. Um, Personally, like I found out, I thought I was on life path 7. Apparently I'm on life path 9, which I mean, I assumed that I was before because I was trying to do this whole like selfless thing, and I was like so confused on how that was supposed to work because like I got people being like, "Oh, you got to be more selfish," and I mean, when you're on life path 9, you're not supposed to be selfish. You're supposed to be selfless. So it's self-sacrifice, and like this next card really speaks to me about that because of you're trying to help people that might not have as much as you, or people that are in need, and that's why I started this channel, because I have a lot of life experience. I know a lot of things. I'm an advice guy. You know, I'm not saying that I did it all on my own. I mean, I essentially had to figure out my life on my own, but I mean, like, recently I've had, like, a spiritual coach, a life coach, a fucking relationship coach. So, I mean, you don't have to be afraid to do things on your own, And, I mean, I think that's another thing that this speaks to is, like, if you can't do something yourself, don't be afraid to ask for help. And I think that's where I was at before, and like, before it was like I thought I knew how life worked. I thought I had everything under control, and then obviously, man versus bus happens, and you're like, you're not in control of anything essentially. Like there's a lot of free will in life, but you can only use that free will to a certain extent until the universe just comes and strikes you down. Because they're like, you're on the wrong path. So, um, you know. Don't be afraid to accept help. Don't be afraid to give help. Um, just know who you're giving the help to. Like, not everybody is grateful. One of the big lessons that I've learned recently is gratitude. Like you got to be grateful for everything. And I mean, it really took me to have nothing in my life to really be grateful for what I do have. And I think a lot of the times that's what happens is that we're not grateful for what we have, and then when it's gone, that's when that's when we're like, oh, I should have did this, I could have did that, and it's like, you couldn't have because you didn't know, and that's the thing, that's, as prepared as you think you might be, you're not going to be prepared, so that's the thing, that's the thing about living and learning and growing, like, a lot of people have the misconception that this is some sort of spooky float up to space type thing, but, to me personally, this is like it's a self-discovery, it's rediscovering who you really are and getting rid of all those things that weren't serving you, all the behaviors, all the thoughts, and, all the stuff from the past, Just kind of rambling on here. Let's just get into the reading here. But, like, I'm feeling like there's definitely a rebirth of sense. Um, Maybe a new perspective on life, or for me personally, it's just like realizing all the parts of myself that I'm leaving in the past. There's like a lot of self-conflict and a lot of conflict from other people that stop me from being the selfless person that I am. Like I said, not everybody has your best interest at heart, and when it comes down to it, you got to follow what you feel inside, kind of thing. But like you do have to use logic on it, you know, like you don't want to put yourself in a situation that's going to get you hurt. And I realized that's the thing with boundaries, you know, like I didn't know how to in place boundaries to stop myself from being hurt. And it's like, you know, the heart kind of overrules that. It's like, you know, you don't want to get hurt, but your heart's telling you something different. And, um, you know, like that's, you know, don't be arrogant about helping people either. You know, like that's the thing about being selfless. You have to do it because you enjoy doing it. You know, that's what gives you happiness. If you're just trying to do it to get back at somebody, then that's not cool. Um, you know, Page of Cups talks about like a younger energy. Like I said before, I know all the means. Like a lot of times, this is going to be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Page of Swords could be an air sign. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But I mean, like, I don't. Like, I was encouraged to throw out the book, so I'm not calling out signs or anything. Like, I'm just playing with energy here. Um, but yeah, like, essentially, you know, like, it sucks having to leave behind stuff. Like, I mean, like, there's a lot of parts of myself that I'm leaving behind, and essentially it's for the greater good, and it's to, you know, for my happiness, you know. It's like it doesn't make me happy to be, you know, this dude is just sitting there, you know, sitting in his kingdom, and you know, like, because there's other people out there that, you know, they have less than you, and that's why, like, it's important to help other people, you know, and to like push forward. um you know, like, especially being a earth sign Tauruses, like we value things like stability, and you know, Pentacles speaks of money, and it's like, you know, I used to kind of be a materialistic type person, and it was like I put a lot of value on money, and I think that was because I didn't have money as a kid, you know. And as soon as I was able to acquire wealth, it was like, you know, that's what made me feel stable and secure. And you know, at the end of the day, like, honestly, like, money doesn't mean anything. Like, you know, like, it covers your bills and you can buy you some nice stuff, but at the end of the day, you know, like, it's the people that matter in our lives. And like, I mean, as hard as it is to move past that kind of mentality, you know, like especially being an earth sign, it's change is scary, guys. I mean, like, change is scary, especially when it's like, you know, it just comes out of nowhere, you know, and then you find out it was written in the stars type thing, you know. It makes it even freakier. But you know, I think that's the thing about earth signs. It's like sometimes you just gotta light a fire up under their ass to get them moving, you know. But it seems like there's a lot of action today, moving towards your happiness. Um, like the Sun card to me means that you're trying to, you know, you're trying to find that thing in your life that just sparks, you know. Like with me, I figured out so many other things, and now I'm just, you know, focused on my own happiness. But at the same time, I mean, you know, like, need a Chewbacca. But you know, like, that's the thing. You're looking out to the world and being hopeful and optimistic, and you know, you gotta keep your hope. You gotta keep your faith. It doesn't matter what you have faith in, as long as you got faith in something, and you know, a little bit of hope goes a long way. People, let me tell you. Never be caught unprepared. You know, like, I'm gonna tell you. You know, a lot of people have like pizza places, or you know, like cab companies in their phone. I never would have thought that I would have needed to have like a spiritual advisor on speed dial, or like a life coach, or like a relationship coach. But you know, when you're trying to rebuild yourself from the ground up, and you realize a lot of the things that you thought you knew worked, or how they worked, you know, sometimes you gotta go ask the pros. There ain't no shame in that. I mean, unless you're not serious about being a better person, or trying to pull your shit together, then I guess you can stumble through it like I used to and just assume things. Like girls think the same way that guys do. I just recently learned that that's not an actual thing. I mean, like, I kind of already came to that conclusion having different discussions and arguments, miscommunications, let's say, because to me, like, what is it, like, whatever, or something like that, I'll just deal with it. That just means, like, I'll deal with it, you know? It's like, I'm not gonna let it get to me, but to, like, a girl, that can mean completely different, you know? And that's with anybody. I'm not even being, like, gender specific. It can just, like, everybody has their own interpretations of different things, and, you know, some people are really sensitive. I know I'm fucking sensitive as shit. You know, I look like a hard ass on the outside. Let me tell you, I got a lot of water in my chart, people. Got the Pisces, got the Scorpio, I got the Cancer. Not the real Cancer, just the zodiac. Don't freak out. And I'm not trying to make light of Cancer either, because that shit's terrible. I've lost a lot of people I love from Cancer. One of the most wonderful people in my life was my Aunt Sharon. She was a huge inspiration to me. She honestly, I feel, is one of my spirit guides, you know, and she was always the one that told me, you know, never give up on music, and she was always really into, you know, the spooky side of life, you know, and I think that's where this comes from, you know. I found out this actually runs in my blood, like, I think a lot of us will be surprised about, like, what runs in our family that we didn't know, you know. You find out you come from a lifelong of psychics and stuff, and I mean, like, I'm not psychic, but I do have a spot-on intuition, and I am an empath, so, I mean, that's something. But, yeah, I'm feeling some hesitation and scaredness, you know, like this card is pretty cute, not gonna lie. Anybody that knows me, I am a friggin' cat person. I love animals. Um, but don't be scared, you know, like, no matter what, man, like, there's a lot of situations in life that we don't really have control of, you know, but, you know, you just gotta, at the end of the day, you gotta make sure that you're in control of yourself, because if you're not in control of yourself, it's just gonna make every other life situation a lot worse, kind of thing, you know? I'm sorry, guys, it's just, like, I'm getting some, like, really heavy vibes. Not, like, heavy vibes off this card, but it just makes me, like, it honestly just makes me want to cry, so, I'm not sure if there's other Tauruses out there that, you know, I already pulled myself out of that energy, and that's why I usually don't try to get too deep into the energy, just because it really fucks with me. Like, it's not something I enjoy to feel. That's why I try not to take on other people's energy, because it just screws with my own energy, and, like, I feel like there's some Tauruses out there that are going through something really really, really hard right now. So, I mean, you know, whatever it is, like, if don't be afraid to, like, reach out to anybody, you know, like, no matter what it is, you know, like, there's always somebody out there that can help. A lot of situations you feel that, you know, there is no hope, that, you know, you'll never be able to get through it, and that's not true, you know, like, you got I'm sorry, guys, I'm just gonna end this video for now, and I'm gonna meditate a bit, go switch my laundry, and I'll be back, and I'll start with the air signs next, so peace, y'all.